that some technical glitches. So
No worries, that's okay.
you would know best.
Yeah, it's live now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session of Let Us Talk It webinar. We are equally excited every day to bring to you these new topics, new outlook, and by doing this, what we are trying to do is to create that informed community, which can become an empowered community eventually. So, with this, we begin our session today. And our session is for technical and non-technical people, I would say, because the topic is very interesting. And we need technical people to counteract what the speaker has to say. So it can be an exciting interactive session if all of you can join in on Zoom, or if you are on Facebook or YouTube, please put your comments or feedback or questions in the comment section, and we'll take it at the end of the session. And with that, we want to talk about Let Us Talk It in general, that Let Us Talk It happens. These webinars happen every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. And these are professional webinars based on work and life. And we try to cover new topics, new ideas every time. But we encourage any one of you who have been a part of Let Us Talk It and you have any suggestions or ideas, please do keep us posted, and you can email us at webinar@letustalkit.com. We don't end there, but we always do something. We try to do something for the community. So we do it for the youth as well. We have Let Us Talk It youth webinars, which happen every Friday and alternate Fridays, I would say, and every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. EST. And this week also, we have our sessions like tomorrow, the Let Us Talk It professional webinar we have is on Get Rich, Stay Rich, Fundamentals of Investing. And on Saturday, we have the Let Us Talk It youth webinar, which will be on the universe, its origin, myths, and the theories. It will be super exciting. Please, if you have a kid at home, join these sessions. We have prep sessions and a lot, which we will tell you after the webinar is over also. So with that, we begin our interesting session today. The topic for today's webinar would be artificial intelligence for non-technicals, understanding artificial intelligence from the non-technical perspective. And can we literally understand that artificial intelligence without too much of technicality? So to speak on this topic, we have with us our guest speaker. He is Sudhanshu, and he's a data scientist, consultant, and a corporate trainer, having an experience of more than 13 plus years. He's a corporate consultant for data science and machine learning, artificial intelligence expert, and a visiting faculty for pan-India level institutes. But that doesn't end there. He has an amazing passion for teaching, which he has been doing for 20 years. And we will learn more from him about that. And he also loves singing. So his two passions are teaching and singing. So it's an honor to have you, Sudhanshu. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Julian, for this generous introduction. I hope everybody is able to hear my screen, able to hear my voice and can see my screen. Welcome everyone to this session on artificial intelligence for non-technicals. And why I've chosen this topic is because there are too much of chaos going on, around people, and then people think that artificial intelligence is going to destroy the world, and the humanity is gonna be in the threat, and all those kind of things, right? Like our whole life will be destroyed by artificial intelligence and all those kind of things. And I just wanted to make sure that you understand what exactly artificial intelligence is. And even if something is is destroying life, what is the motive behind it? Even if it is helping you out, what is the motive behind it? And that's why I've designed this, and I'm thankful to Let Us Talk It for giving me this opportunity to interact with you, all of you. We'll be taking up the questions at the end of the sessions. But I just wanted to, just wanted to pick up one line over here, right? And let me know if you agree with me, right? All of this idea of artificial intelligence has been taken from Terminator movie, Transformers, Iron Man Part 1, Avengers, or whatnot, right? Or Star Wars for that matter. The reason behind this is because we did not have any idea about artificial intelligence, and when they actually come up with some idea that has been, that has been, I would say, infused in our mind, that this artificial intelligence is evil. But we need to understand that if they will not show us the extreme situations, we will probably not go and watch those movies and buy tickets, expensive tickets for those movies. So that's the main reason behind artificial intelligence. So whenever we think of artificial intelligence, we always think of some devil thing coming up and destroying the whole world, and that is not true. So if I say, right, and I want you to understand this as a statement, that without artificial intelligence right now, whether you deal with it or you don't deal with it, your life will be absolutely boring, right? For example, every single application which Google has created for you is based on of at least one machine learning algorithm, be it YouTube, be it Google search, be it Google Maps, or be it news, Google News, or Google Calculator, or currency conversion, or language translator. No matter what, they are actually the applications of machine learning, right? So exciting enough, right? So what we want to do is we want to get into the understanding of artificial intelligence. So we'll talk about what is artificial intelligence, and I'm considering that you are completely new to this domain. So first thing first, what is this artificial intelligence, right? So this artificial intelligence is made up of two words. One is called artificial, and the second thing is called intelligence. Now artificial is something which is called as man-made, okay? Anything which is man-made, right? Which means as we not created by the mother nature. And what is intelligence over here, right? Intelligence is taking decisions, like doing something on the basis of the circumstances, you know uh, taking part in some activities based on different kind of scenarios around it, right? Now this intelligence word is very 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 biased word. Why this is biased word? Because just think about an ant or a rabbit or a cat for that matter. They are intelligent enough, right, to spend their livelihood. Where would they find food? How would they live? How would they survive? When to run, when not to run, when to drink water, and all those kind of stuff. But do we call them intelligent? We don't call them intelligent. Why we don't call them intelligent? Because we consider only human as intelligence thing, right? So if any animal starts behaving like human, we call them intelligent animal, right? For example, if there is a dog, it is bringing us a newspaper and helping us out in doing certain activities on day-to-day life, we will call that dog intelligent. A parrot starts speaking like a human, I would say that that parrot is intelligent enough. But do we call them intelligent when they are not behaving like human? Probably not, right? So the point is that intelligence word is actually very very biased, right? So I'll give you the formal definition of this artificial intelligence is, but artificial intelligence over here is a biased term, right? And it actually refers to human intelligence. Always understand that it is a it something somebody is trying to create human intelligence, right? And that's why whenever we talk about artificial intelligence, you get to see a face. Do you see a face in the background right now, right? That's a face for human, right? It looks like human, right? So that we can connect with that dot, right? So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is making computers that can think, or automation of activities which we perform on daily basis, like decision making or learning something, or art of creating machines that can perform human like functions, or like the functions which require some kind of intelligence when it is being performed by people, or maybe the study of mental faculties through the use of computational models. Now, this is one of the most, I would say, sought out definition of artificial intelligence. It says and it's been given by John McCarthy. And this definition of artificial intelligence, probably you'll not believe that it actually came in existence in 1952, approximately 5 years of our independence, right after like when we got independence. And then they said like the science and like engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer programs, right? Can we make our machines intelligent enough so that they can behave like human, or they can take decisions on humans behalf, or they can do certain things which a human is able to perform, right? Can we do something like that, right? So this is the official definition of artificial intelligence. I want to give you the definition which you can remember for life. Okay, so there are several definitions out there, and they eventually say the same thing. Artificial intelligence is a way of making a computer controlled robot or a software think intelligently in the similar manner the intelligent human thinks. Intelligent human thinks means that I want to create a or human artificial intelligence like structure, right? Which can mimic the human brain. So that's where the definition is coming from, right? And then how it is being accomplished? It is accomplished by studying how human brain thinks and how human learn, how human decide, and work while try to solve a problem. It could be anything for that matter. Now you must be wondering, Sudhanshu, this is not possible, right? How can something be? How can, as a human, our activities can be translated to a machine device, right? So let me just give you a simple example, right? And I hope everybody has at least once in a life, right? You might have faced a rejection, right? And what is that rejection? Your rejection is actually coming from a guy whose name is auto rickshaw wala, right? You always have actually faced one time, at least in your life, you might have faced that rejection. Now just imagine there is an auto, right? There is an auto which is standing. So my art is on international level, probably you can connect with that. There's an auto, right? You can consider it as an auto for a while, right? Now there is, and this is you, right? Happy guy over here, you wanted to go for shopping, and then you go to this guy and says, auto rickshaw wala, right? Hey, dear, I want to go from location A to location B, right? And this is the location, and the genuine price for this distance is just 550 rupees, right? 50 rupees INR, right? Now, what will happen? This guy says, no, I won't go, right? Because this guy, either he is resting or he doesn't want to go there or something of that sort, right? And then you offer him 60 rupees. He will say no, right? So he'll say no for that. You offer them 70, no, right? And then you keep on offering, right? And then you offer 90 rupees. He'll say no to it. And then you offer 100 rupees. And then immediately he says yes. Even if you offer anything above 100, probably he will say yes. Can you pick up this scenario in machine learning, right? Just think about it, right? I'm just creating a graph, and this graph is saying that either this guy will say yes, or I'll keep it as 1, and this guy will say no, I'll keep it as 0, right? So this is no, right? And this is my graph over here, right? So the charges for going somewhere is minimum 50 rupees. This is 50, then 60, then 70, 80. I'll just write it over here, 70, then 80, and then this is 90, and this is 100, right? Now I want to pick up this whole scenario and convert that into a machine language. So what will happen, right? Suppose this guy, auto rickshaw wala, is nothing but an artificial intelligence guy, right? And I have programmed this artificial intelligence auto rickshaw wala saying that you will say no till the time he will offer you double amount, right? Which is 100 rupees. So the answer will be keep on going, 0, no, 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 all the time no. As soon as you offer him 100 rupees, this will go like this, and it will go to the yes region. Now if you notice here, right, if you notice in this pattern, this is yes region, this is yes region, no, right? Which means that auto rickshaw wala will not go for 50, 60, 70. As soon as you offer him anything above or equal to 100, it will go. And this is called step function, right? This is called step function in mathematics. And some of you might have noticed this function, right? That if you have studied mathematics, you might have actually seen it. Even if you have not seen it, it's pretty simple. It says that this is your rupees, and this is your input actually, and based on input, this is my output. So my output will be always zero till the time I'll reach somewhere here. As soon as my input goes beyond something, it will be up, right? And it happens all the time in your life, right? There's just a simple example to make sure that you understand that human activities can also be translated into machine activities. Machine can also perform the similar kind of task, and most probably it happens all the time. Now, similar to this step function, there are n number of functions out there which can actually, mimic the human brain or human behavior, right? So I hope just to give you some idea, right? I hope you are able to connect with that, all right? So if I want to design something which mimics like a human brain, I want machine to solve a certain problem, take a certain decision, and give me the outcomes basis on whatever I have taught to my machine. Okay. Now, how would I talk? Like, how would I make my machine understand something? Now, I want to give you some idea about this, right? Now, I want you to think about this is, say, this is my daughter, right? And right now, my daughter is 8. But if you think about this is my daughter, and she is, say, 1 year old, right? And I wanted to make my daughter understand about, what is a dog like, right? So probably, what would I do? I would actually go out and I would say, hey kiddo, just look at this, right? There is a dog, right? This is how a dog looks like. Now, my daughter has understood something, but I don't know what, right? I have no clue what she understood. She might have observed the patterns in the dog. She might have, observed some the colors or the shape or the size or the look and feel of that animal. And what she did is actually she named that pattern and call it as dog. Then I've shown her second dog, right? And then I've shown her third dog, right? Eventually I tell my dog that I might tell my daughter that, what, this is a dog, this is a dog, and all of these are dogs, right? These are all dogs. So whatever she's learning, she's naming that thing up, right? And she's calling it as dog. She's calling this as dog, right? And she's learning something. I don't know what, right? But all I can understand is that she's finding out the pattern always. Pattern, right? And that's a pattern which machine learning or artificial intelligence, rather, artificial intelligence, excuse me, artificial intelligence identify and you name that pattern as dog. And we do all the time, right? So in our whole life, our learning is always this way, right? How to eat, what to eat, we have always label for that, right? This is how we are supposed to behaving, this is how we are not supposed to behave, this is how we are supposed to eat, this is how we are not supposed to eat, this is how we walk, this is how we say something, this is how we dress up, this is how we comb our hair, anything. For everything we have a label, right? And so this label is a pattern. And if somebody does not or do not follow that pattern, right? If some people do not follow that pattern, we call them people, like we call them absurd, right? That these people are like having a different mindset or something, right? So what we do is we actually kind of like give all the patterns, right? Similar patterns of dog, and we always label them up, right? We always label them up. This is dog. Whatever pattern you have identified, that pattern name is dog. Okay. And once we are done with it, right? We're done with the human learning, right? We pass on, right? So say 20 days, I kept on teaching my daughter, right? What is a dog like? On 21st day, I got to know, I saw one animal, right? And asked my daughter, right? What is that animal? My daughter will come back and give me that label. She will recall that pattern. She will find out the pattern in this image and give me that label and call it as dog, right? This is how we call it an intelligence. So if my daughter is 1 year old and is able to identify everything, right, I will call my daughter intelligent because she learns very quickly. The more human beings are identifying the patterns, right, we call that human being as the most intelligent guy, right? That's what we do all the time, right? So I want you to connect the dot in a minute, but just think about it. What will happen if I have a cat someday, right? If I'll ask my daughter, right, and I'll ask my daughter that what is that animal, probably she will come back and say, hey papa, this is probably a cat, right? And this is probably a dog, because she knows only one label, right? And I would say, hey kiddo, this is not a dog, this is actually a cat. And eventually, the moment I say the same thing, she will start identifying the patterns of cat. She already know the patterns of dog, and she will also identify the differences in the pattern, right? This is how we do all the time, right? This is how we do. And exactly same procedure is being followed in artificial intelligence as well. And you'll be very surprised to know we will have a training data, right? We will teach our machine, right? We'll give these images to our machine and tell them that this is the dog, right? This is a dog, and this is a dog, right? And once my machine learning algorithm, my artificial intelligence device identifies that pattern, I will give him a test image and ask him, right, what is that animal? And it will come back and say that it is dog, and I'm 90% sure about it, right? This is how your machine learning algorithm or artificial intelligence work, right? And once you show him, like you show artificial intelligence device a cat, right? Your artificial intelligence device will say that it could be a dog, and I'm only like 5% sure about it because none of the patterns of dogs are matching with the cat, right? But I just keep on training my machine learning algorithm on cats or artificial intelligence on cat. They will eventually identify what is cat all about. Okay? So I want you to understand this example all the time, right? This is how we train it, and this is how we test it, and then we ask our machine learning artificial intelligence device what is that, and that they will be able to respond. Now, just how this whole phenomena works, I'll just go even more deep into it. I'll just talk about that in a minute. But before I wanted to burst some myth, right? So we have different kind of artificial intelligence, right? And one artificial intelligence is called artificial narrow intelligence. Now, what is that artificial narrow intelligence? This artificial narrow intelligence is able to do one task only at a time, which means that if I've created an artificial intelligence device and it is cleaning up my floor, right? It can only clean up my floor. It cannot do anything else. Whatever is being created, it cannot do anything else, right? Without any, you cannot buy one robot or device to do something else, right? It can just only perform one task. And right now we are in the age of artificial narrow intelligence, where our devices are even learning to perform the basic task of human being. Basic task. What are these basic tasks? For example, if I've created a car who can drive autonomously on the road, it can do the same thing only. It cannot do multiple things, right? It can just only drive on the road. That is it. It cannot do anything else. Now, what is that artificial general intelligence? General intelligence is when the basic activities of human being, like which is performing, is being done by your artificial intelligence. For example, if I bought one robot, it is able to read out the stuff perfectly. It is also able to help me, calling someone. It is also able to book a slot for for dinner on some restaurant. It is able to do, it is able to make sure that once I'm reaching into the car, it is also cooling down my car, right? It's if it is a summer or something, or it can make sure that whatever music I like, it just plays that music. Right? It's more of a multitasking, right? And we're still lacking there. We haven't reached to the full potential of artificial narrow intelligence now. I would say probably we have reached to approximately 30 to 40% of the artificial narrow intelligence potential as of now, while the time like we are talking. General intelligence is where we can do multiple tasks, right? And we have not even started this thing yet. We have not even started. Then comes the artificial super intelligence. Now, the super intelligence is something which is beyond human, capabilities. For example, finding out some, like, what are the materials in black hole, right? We cannot even see through black hole, right? And this machine is going into black hole and finding out some important materials or some important aspects which human cannot do. Something which can help your art, like your human to do something which are impossible right now. This is a hypothetical concept yet. We do not have any initiation, theoretical concept. We do not have any initiation even for this artificial super intelligence as of now. right? So what you get to see in the movies is this artificial super intelligence. It even does not exist even in the ideas, right now. Like there's no initiation as of now which has been happening in artificial super intelligence. So you need to understand where exactly we are, and probably 20 30 years down the line you will see some artificial general intelligence, or like to the full potential, or even some sort of some glimpses of artificial super intelligence. But still I would think it will take a lot of time, will take a lots and lots of time, right? So all these things are like very generic as of now, right? Very generic as of now. So now these are the three types of artificial intelligence, right? Now I want to think about I want to talk about something, right? When I say that I wanted to create a man-made structure, right? This is an actual human being, right? Who is a smiley guy. Look at this guy; he's so happy, right? Right? And there is a machine, right? Which looks like this, right? It's more of a iron thing, right? It is looking like this, right? With some cameras on, right? This is how my machine, this is my human, right, over here, and this is my machine, right, which I wanted to do something, right? What are the tasks which human can perform? Human can see the things, human can move the things, right? They can learn, right? They can speak, they can understand, right? They can run, right? They can actually talk, they can listen, right? These are the basic activities which human perform, right? I want you to understand this. If you want to see, like as a human being, if you want to see something, if in machine, if you go to artificial intelligence, there is something called as computer vision, right? And this computer vision is actually helping the machines to see or interact with an external world. Similarly, if you want to move or if you want to run, right, these are the two things can be performed by some actuators, or you can say some motors, right? If you want to speak, right, or if you want to talk or listen, right, there are two things which is called one is called natural language processing, and in natural language processing we have text to speech text to speech, and then we have speech to text, right? Whatever the speech you have got, you can convert that into speech to text, right? The only thing which is there in the human and which is not present in the machine is very crucial, and I would like to highlight this over here with some different colors so that you can see, is something called as learning, right? Like learning, right? Thinking, or you can say thinking ability, right? This is not there, right, in machine. Now to fulfill that, we have something called as machine learning, right? Machine learning, learning, decision making ability, understanding something. So this learning and understanding is actually coming through the machine learning. So you can say that if I want to create a machine which can do all the tasks which human can perform, to see we have computer vision, to move we have actuators, right? To listen we have sensors, to listen to something we have different sensors, right? To touch we have sensors, right? Even if the touch, if you talk about touch, we have sensors, right? Who can give them the similar kind of feel, not exactly the human like, but you know what I mean, right? And then you have, for learning and understanding, we have something called as machine learning. So you can consider machine learning is a brain of artificial intelligence, right? So I would like to give you this analogy, and with this analogy we want to move forward and understand what is what. So in machine learning we have like deep learning and all those stuff. In natural language processing we have translation, classification, clustering, information extraction. This is what we do all the time. We see lots and lots of boards and on the road, and we pick up only we remember only something which is of our interest. We can also convert speech to text and text to speech. Then we have expert system. These are different zone of artificial intelligence, right? Like this computer vision where you can recognize image or other things, and you have machine vision where you can identify the people on the road, right? For example, if you go out on the road, you identify that there is a signal, there is a red signal, or that some car is coming by, or somebody is actually asking you to stop, or somebody is waving you up, or different kind of things, right? So you can have machine vision over here. So this is the whole structure of artificial intelligence, a whole domain of artificial intelligence, right? Now I want you to visualize this thing, right? And I just want to give you this idea, right? So if you pick up the brain, right, what is that brain? Machine learning, right? machine learning, and you pick up natural language processing, which is what is natural language processing? Ability of machines to speak like human, right? If you just pick up brain and natural language processing, you get Cortana, you get Siri as a different softwares, right? And you can think of, so just think about the inhuman analogy as well, right? I have all the things working, right? My hands are moving, I can speak, I can see, I can understand everything, but without brain, nothing works, right? So we need to have a coordination with the brain, right? For example, if I just pick up a speaker and I put my favorite song over there, it will just keep on, creating sounds. That will not be a intelligent device. However, if I ask like, hey Siri or hi Alexa, would you be able to play a certain song for me? And it says sure, why not? And it just plays that song. That is an intelligent thing, right? An intelligent human would have done the same thing. So I just wanted to pick up my brain there and natural language processing to interact with the human being, and I can get a software system which will be acting like Siri or a Cortana thing. The second thing is that if you add mind, right, if you add natural language processing and you combine it with some hardware, right, which can accelerate your performance, you get something called as Alexa, right? This is your Alexa, which is nothing but the combination of machine learning, natural language processing, and a simple hardware, right? You have got all the possible things built into it, right? So I hope I'm making myself clear, right, what exactly we are looking at, right? Now let's look at one more example. If you pick up machine learning and computer vision, right? So whatever you see, right, it has to be interpreted by your mind. So if this is your mind, right, whatever you are seeing, right, whatever you see, and you see through the camera, so you have hardware piece and the mind combined together and you can see the world, right? So similar kind of human like abilities can be given to machines in order to see something in the data, right? So, right, I hope I'm able to make you understand, right? This is something which you might have seen, right? Another example, if you think about that nowadays we have got RFID tags, right, where they can identify the number plates, they can identify like where the driver is coming from, whether the driver is sleepy or not, whether they have paid the toll tax or not. This can be done just with the help of one device, and if you put in the artificial intelligence brain into it. This is another example of identifying whether there is some traffic on the road, whether the routes are busy, is there any accident or something, somebody is creating nuisance or some kind of unknown or not desirable activities are going on the road, right? We can do something like that as well. Now, this is another example of Amazon Go, right? I'm not sure how many of you have actually seen this, right? If you search for Amazon Go, right, what they have done is that you need to just walk in into the store, and as soon as you walk in, there will be a camera who will identify that you have walked into the store, and based on that, he will start picking up your the bill, right? And whatever you put into your basket, it will calculate that, and after calculating it, it will just do the add, like the sum of the total bill, and you just need to walk out, right? You don't need to be in the queue, and that amount whatever you have actually asked for can be deducted from your account, right? So in some of this like places, Amazon has actually opened up these kind of stores, right? Which is a great initiation, I believe, right? Some of you might have actually noticed that it's a combination of computer vision, machine learning algorithms, and some devices, right? Now, if you just think about it, right? If I combine the machine learning, the brain, the natural language processing, and computer vision together, and I put in some sensors and some kind of some kind of actuators or pulleys over there, I get a robot, right? Which is a very famous robot, right? I've just mentioned over here. It's called Sophia, and it's very very being famous because it's been to India as well in IIT Mumbai, and then people were like crazy about it. It's just amazing to see like some robot talking, and then this is nothing but the application of all the things combined together, right, which we've actually seen so far. So by the way, like if people who are not aware of Sophia, it's a social robot. It can interact with you, it cannot do anything else. So is it artificial narrow intelligence, general intelligence, or it's a super intelligence? It's artificial narrow intelligence because it can only perform one task, which means that it can conversate with you. That's it, right? It can do only one task. Okay, so don't get confused with it that it's a super intelligence. It is not. It's just a basic robot. Okay, so we talked about lots and lots of things, right? And we talked about like artificial intelligence. And if I not talk about what is machine learning, things will be like, right? You will say, Sudhanshu, you've actually left out something, right? So what is machine learning? Machine learning, in simple term, is the brain of artificial intelligence. Without that brain, everything is waste, right? So be it Google, be it Microsoft, be it YouTube, right? Whatever you see on the net, 95% of the websites are influenced directly, sorry, indirectly, either by Google or some other searching engine. They are actually influenced by artificial intelligence, right? There are very few websites which are not, right? So what is this machine learning, right? And I'll give you one example. Machine learning is the ability of computer. It's a branch of artificial intelligence. Is an ability of computer to learn from the data. But you must be wondering, Sudhanshu, your daughter might have seen some dog, and by looking at the dog, you like she could understand that okay, it's an animal, and there is a dog label which is being flashing in your mind. And as soon as she sees some other unknown animal, she's able to recall that label and say that it's a dog. But how would a machine understand this? So machine, uh, your doubt is absolutely genuine. So your machine is understanding everything in 1 0. Okay, so I'll read out the definition and then I'll make you understand. So machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence, which I told you earlier also, concern the construction and the study of system that can learn from the data, right? I want my mind to find out the patterns always, all the time, right? So these are the different definitions, right? The goal of machine learning is to develop method that can automatically detect patterns in the data and then to use the uncovered patterns to predict future data or other outcomes of interest. Okay, so machine learning is nothing but identifying pattern from the data, and that patterns are all mathematical patterns. So in order to understand machine learning, do we need the knowledge of mathematics? Yes, a bit, right? So if somebody says that you can understand machine learning, right, the core machine learning without mathematics, probably they are making you fool, right? Because you cannot understand machine learning deeply without, you know, understanding the mathematics behind it, right? So mathematics is required. So how much mathematics is required? Just to give you some idea, 10th and 12th level of mathematics. If you got like mathematics in your 10th standard and 12th standard, you're good to go for machine learning, right? That much of machine like mathematics is required. Okay, so this is very interesting. Okay, so machine learning is about predicting the future based on the past. Okay, that's a simple term which you get to hear, and this is one of the, I guess it's one of the simplest definition which you get to see. But this is often misleading. Why? Because we do not understand the maths. So what exactly this machine is saying, right? So just think about it, right? For example, if you're going from location A to location B, right, and you started from your home and this is how you actually go to your location B, and then Google predicted that if you're leaving at 9 a.m. in the morning, right, then you will be reaching there by say let's say 11 o'clock, right? You take 120 minutes to reach there, like 120 minutes to reach there. Is is Google predicting my future, right? Some people might say yes, some people might say no. But I tell you what, Google is not predicting the future. Google is actually forecasting the future with certain accuracy or certain mathematical calculation. So there is a difference between forecasting and prediction, right? Often forecasting is being confused with the prediction. The thing is that forecasting will give you always some kind of probability, right? For example, if I say that there are 90% chances, 90% chances are there that I'll be reaching there in 120 minutes to my destination. Whatever my destination is, I'll be reaching there in 120 minutes, right? This is more of a probability kind of thing, right? So I'll be reaching there in 120 minutes. There, like 95% chances are that I'll be reaching there in 150 minutes, right? 98% chances are that I'll be reaching there in 200 minutes. For sure, I'll be reaching there. And 99.99% chances are that in 300 minutes, I will be in my destination for sure. So, machine learning often calculates the probability of something being happening. And I just wanted to give you this statement, and I want you to understand this. Most of the time, right, the most probable outcome is actually the future, right? Most of the time. So for example, out of 100, if I have some 100 examples, out of 100 examples, right, 90% of the time, or 90 examples are where the most probable outcome, whose probability is very, very high. For example, if I did not write anything in the exam, right, I may fail. 99% chances are that I may fail, but still there will be 1% chance that my answer sheet may get mismatched and I get some other marks or something of that sort, right? So I'm just saying 90% of the time, the most probable outcome is actually the future, right? Only 10% of the time there are some things, random things happening, right? So if you're like going somewhere, right, 98% of the chances are that you will reach there, right? If there is like, if you're going in a certain path and then some accident happened just 2 kilometers ahead and there is a long jam on the road, you will take some time but you will reach, right? So 95%. So this is now for people who are not aware of probability and all, we can say, right, that most probable outcome is actually the future. Most probable outcome is the future. Is future. So it's about, we can say, for layman terms, right, that machine learning can predict the future, right, because it is only predicting the most probable outcome, and the most probable outcome is future. So we, in a layman term, we can say that the machine learning is actually predicting the future. Or if you see, just go with the, just spell it off, right, it will say algorithms or techniques that enable computers, machine to learn from the data related with many areas such as data mining, statistics, information theory, etc. These are the official definition of it, right? Now, if you think about it, right, machine learning is of three types. There are different types of machine learning, like unsupervised learning, supervised learning, and reinforcement learning, which we use in robotics and predicting some organization's output, or like how much the sales would be, like how much the requirement would be, who is going to click on certain ad, and blah blah stuff. And this is exactly what machine learning follows, right? So it gives training data first to machine, and machine will create an assumption. This assumption is called mathematical assumptions or mathematical assumption of the pattern, and we call this as model, right? This, we call this as model. And whatever our future data is, we kind of create our put this into our model, and we ask it to predict something. For example, how this machine learning is creating assumption. For example, if I ask you, right, who is this guy, right, just look at this guy, right? This guy has a flap on his eye, right, over here, and has a mole on it, right, over here, right? Now, probably you will call this guy as pirate, right? This guy looks like a pirate. Who has actually told you that this guy is pirate? Because you have created some assumptions in your mind. Because you've seen some patterns, right? Wherever somebody is showing you pirate or a bad guy, they will show you something like this. So you will call, you have an assumption. You've learned from that data, right? This is a bad guy, right? And whenever this guy, even if he's a good guy, right, and he wants to help you out and wants to talk to you, probably your mind will resist and say that this guy is a bad guy, because your mind has created some assumptions. Very much similar to that machine also creates some patterns, and these patterns are called models, right? And these models are nothing but the mathematical assumptions which machine creates. And whenever a future this guy or a data comes to your model, and you wanted to predict the level, so you wanted to predict like whether this is a bad guy or not. In machine cases, you wanted to predict whether it's a dog or a cat, or you wanted to predict whether somebody will get a bank loan or not, or somebody will get the university admission or not, somebody might have survived from a COVID or not. That could be n number of conditions out there. You can think of like predicting anything in the future, right, with machine learning. For machine, everything is data, no matter what you give, right? Even if you give images, or if you give any kind of any kind of like sound, or if you want to give PDF or Excel sheet or CSV file, for them everything is data, right? So everything is this number, right? It cannot understand anything beyond the number. So we need to convert everything into numbers, and from these numbers machine find out the patterns, right? And we call this as multiple things, like for example, data mining, inferences, pattern recognition, signal processing, induction, optimization, depending upon where you are, what you are actually working on. So this Mind has got different names in different domains altogether, and these are like called eventually machine learning. Now, what are these applications in the real world? Like similar pins on Instagram or in Pinterest, you will find that images which whatever you search for, you'll find the similar kind of like images over here, and they will always be similar. Like for example, here anybody get confused with this image and they may think of it as a dolphin, but the machine is able to identify that it's a food, and then all the other things are also food over here. You can see that this is food, right? Everything is food over here, right? So machine is intelligent enough to identify the similar patterns over here. Face recognition, right? It identifies the pattern, right? Whether somebody who's in front of the phone is having similar kind of patterns, and how it does that, it draws several lines over here and make a pattern for your face. That's why you've been asked to touch the multiple times on your phone so that it can identify the pattern in your thumb and can match up that pattern and give you the output. Yes, this the somebody who's touching this phone on the touch panel is actually the owner or not. And same goes with the face recognition as well. People you may know, this is one of the biggest machine learning or artificial intelligence application, because of which LinkedIn becomes so big, right? You can easily connect with different people, and I'm sure like you might have seen this feature. And the similar kind of feature is being identified by Facebook. Like you may want to friends with someone, or even in YouTube, where they recommend different kind of videos. For example, that you may like these videos, they want you to hook on the YouTube for a very long period of time. Or it could be anything in Amazon. You'll see lots and lots of recommendation based on your searches and based on your personality or certain other features. Email spam and malware filtering. I guess this is one of the oldest machine learning or artificial intelligence application which everybody has been using, but you're not aware that this is an artificial intelligence application. It can actually identify based on certain factors the content of the email, and tells you whether something is spam email or a legitimate email. Product recommendation is one of the awesome feature which is boon for lots and lots of markets. They can always align a hot selling product with a cold selling product, combine them together and group together and increase the sales of even the products which are not even selling right in the market. Then online fraud detection, a lot of BFSI organizations use it for predicting whether some transaction is happening, is it a fraud or not. You think about the organizations which are like dealing, which are having the millions of people who are doing all online transactions. And just to give you some idea, in January 2019, there were 1 trillion online transaction is being recorded by RBI. 1 trillion only in India, January 2019, and since then it's been increasing like anything. So, and to be honest with you, like 1 trillion is just a 5% of the total economy, like total transactions which are happening. So 90, there could be 95 or like 90 trillion transactions which are happening, without any noticeable thing, right? So which are like cash transactions. So eventually this will go up, and you will see lots and lots of transaction happening in this era also. Disease identification. So it has been happening in the organizations where they are trying to create devices which can identify cancers, or they identify whether the cancer is benign or malign, or there could be n number of things. And then lots and lots of people are actually finding out the patterns, and they can also find out whether this cancer is being will be like growing up or not. And they are like, right now, once they started, machine learning are 13% more accurate than 20 years experienced doctors, like, and then it is expected to grow up. So like the prestigious doctors of 20 years experience, they are 67% accurate in predicting some cancers, and machines are approximately 83% accurate in the beginning, and it is expected to grow more. Personalized treatment, and a lot of wearable devices are there out there which can actually help somebody's life, based on the your heartbeats, based on your blood pressure levels and all those kind of stuff. They are able to save lots and lots of lives for the people, right? Clinical trial research, a lot of medicines discovery is being speeded up because of artificial intelligence. That the typical time for medicine to launch in the market is approximately 15 to 20 years. This has to be reduced to approximately 5 to 10 years with the help of machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence. So this is again a very, very great examples. Character recognition, wherein you might have seen lots and lots of examples where you can identify face and handwritten digits and all those kind of stuff which is being identified by machine learning. You can convert your normal document into into an electronic document, which and you can like give give it a new life altogether. All right, so I guess we are on the top of our time approximately. So we have approximately 8 minutes left. So I just wanted to pick up some of your questions. In the meantime, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, right? I'm always available for you guys. I'll be pasting on the link on the chat, or you may search for my name, Sudhanshu Saxena 26, and you'll find this. Right, over to you, Julian. I would like to pick up some questions here.
Absolutely. Yeah, great presentation. Like your the enthusiasm, the teaching style. That was amazing. So yeah, we are open for any questions. Vamshi, do we have any question on YouTube or Facebook?
Had not yet.
Okay.
All right, everyone, please connect with me on
Good.
LinkedIn. I will pick up
Yeah,
your
great
questions.
presentation, Sudhanshu. Thank you so much for your passion, and I can see that in practice, where you explained things in the most simplistic way possible.
Thank you so much. Anybody who wants to pick up any question, how to start, or could be anything, I would love to answer that.
Right. Let's just wait for some time to see if any questions pop in. But again, want to Shudhanshu's all the information is there on the screen. But if you want, if you know anyone who would be interested in presenting, being a guest speaker with any topic that is trending, that is traditional, that is anything but makes helps the community, please do email us at webinar@letustalkit.com. Just wanted a quick reminder that we have these webinars every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. EST, US time. And tomorrow we will have the topic Get Rich, Stay Rich, Fundamentals of Investing. I think this is a topic which we almost overlook, and we just go on trying to earn money, but we don't know how to save or invest. I mean, not only save, but to invest. So that this will be a very interesting and beneficial topic if you are joining in, hearing, and then asking question as well. So that is for tomorrow. And then this Saturday, we have our Let Us Talk It Youths webinar, which is on the universe, its origin, myths, and theories. The youths are working really hard. They are trying to make it as interesting as possible. Trust me, if you have anybody, any kid with you, just ask them to join. They will at least start thinking, at least have some awareness. So, yes, these are the things that we are doing here at Let Us Talk It. Along with that, we definitely think of your health as well. So we do our yoga sessions every Wednesday and Sunday at 9 Wednesdays 9 p.m. EST and Sundays 9 a.m. EST. So these are the things that we are trying to reach out to the community with, and it's we believe in. That leadership is not only based on your title that you have in the email signature, or how somebody introduces you, or what is your paycheck, but it's also the confidence, the things that you do for the community amidst all failing and learning. So if you think that you would benefit, or you did benefit earlier, please pass on the word, and yes, ask someone, your family colleague, to join the webinars as well. So do we have any question? I see. Uh, Okay, somebody asked, let us know the time slot for Saturday universe exploration. Yes, it is Saturday, 4 to 5 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, which would be a Saturday. And yeah, that's the only question we have. And yes, and you can also, we do these prep sessions for the youth every Tuesday and Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. EST again, where the kids, where the youth, they prepare themselves. Not only that, they bring the presentation up. Yes. Yeah, so it's not that they just come up, they feel like, and they are there, but they go through a proper prep session, and then they discuss among themselves, and they build up those confidence and, public speaking abilities, and then they start, they do the webinar. So it's a pretty neat work that they do. So please, if you want more information, and we have for two different age groups as well, so we can talk about those at different timing, and we can talk about that as well. Please email us at webinar@letustalkit.com. Yeah. So one question, Shudhanshu, if I can ask you, like absolutely fresher wants to start learning, as you said, what are the steps that the person can take? I mean, learning artificial intelligence from a non-technical background. What's the first step?
All right. So, in my opinion, like it's when I say somebody is non-technical background, it's been somebody who's not been working on some programming languages or some analytical thing, right? So everybody is technical. It's just that they have pursued something else. So if you have, say, like mathematics in 10th and 12th standard, you are all good to go. Second thing that you start, if you have keen interest in learning, like some programming languages like Python, you should start exploring Python and statistics together. So Python is one, then statistics, and then after that, like you can pick up machine learning. And with the help of machine learning, and once you learn machine learning, like you will be able to see lots and lots of things. Like for example, you'll be able to see deep learning there. After that, you can go pursue deep learning, natural language processing, and computer vision, which will open up the gates for you for artificial intelligence. So this is a sequence, right? You go with Python, statistics, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. This is how you can actually exceed, like in artificial intelligence world.
Okay, so without any technical background, this is would be your suggestion. But without any technical
Yes,
background, or not something that is, easy as so as the way you sound it to
you
be.
should have therefore, like you should not be afraid of mathematics, right? When you say if you're afraid of mathematics, probably you will. It would be difficult for you to to like go like to the next level in this. But if you have, even if you, I would say, do not think of the mathematics the way you have understood in your 12th standard, right? Think of mathematics as a mean to explore a lot of opportunity. So like when I teach mathematics, I don't teach them the formulas, right? I teach them the logic, and how if you picked up the logic behind the mathematics, you will learn it for life. So the logic is one of the things which is very, very important. And if you have the business understanding, that is like cherry on the cake.
Okay, so you are expanding now. It was only mathematics, and then Python, and then some business knowledge as well. So basically, the analytical skills, I think, would be quite necessary with.
Yes.
So, I mean, since you said that you are passionate about teaching, so how do you have a course, or how does it work?
Yeah, so I give free mentorship to people, like people who are actually new to this world, or they want to just explore whether they have some doubts whether they want to go for it or not. When I say that you need to have business understanding, right? I teach all these topics in my mentorship session as well, right? And I teach them like what is the business understanding. For example, if I say that I want to sell some more shoes, right, in a certain country. So business understanding says that if you probably try to sell leather shoes in some countries where the temperature is going below 10 degree, probably you'll not be able to sell it. You have to have some shoes which are comfortable, right? So what kind of shoes people buy? If you have interest in finding out that pattern, probably you are good to go for business understanding, right? Because you are able to identify that people buy certain kind of shoes which are comfortable, which can make them feel warm, and they will love to wear those kind of shoes, like in some countries where the temperature is going like below 10 degree or 3 degrees centigrade. So this is kind of business understanding. Once you have this business understanding, you kind of put that thing into mathematical logic, right? Whatever the logic you are learning in artificial intelligence and machine learning. And then how do you make your computer understand? Through programming language. Now, I have taught Python in literally approximately in 10 days to people, and they're able to do programming, right? I'm saying to the people who have never done coding in their life, for within 10 days, I'm able to teach them. Don't need to be a programmer. First thing first, you just need to learn the programming up to an extent where you can actually program machine learning. That's it. You don't need to be a hardcore programmer to write like thousands lines of code. No, you may be like writing 10 to 20 lines of code, and that will do the job, right? That much of programming is required, and which is very very easy. And literally, people like somebody who's from the non-technical background, right, they will also be able to learn Python in approximately 10 days. Like the Python required for artificial intelligence in 10 days, barely 10 days, right? That's what I'm committing to you. Then again, the mathematical part I'm talking about, for example, if you know what is y is equals to mx plus c, what is the line equation doing, right? You're good to go. If you understand mean, median, mode, right? What is mean, average, what is mode, and what is median, you're good to go. So when I say that you have these kind of things, right, I'm just literally saying that you should know the basics of it, right? When I say business understanding, basic of business understanding. When I say programming language, basic of Python, basic of mathematics, and you're all good to go, even if you're from non-technical background.
Right. Very well explained. I mean, our attendees or viewers who are watching right now, so they have a clear understanding what they should know and what they can expect. Right. So that's very clearly stated. Um, and so, do you have any success story that you have someone with a background, non-technical background, and then is doing good as in career-wise?
So a couple of like I got a lot of people who are actually coming from non-technical background, and they said like, say, Sudhanshu, we do not want to code because in our profile doesn't ask us to code the things, right? We have like 15 years of experience and 20 years of experience. We do not want to get into a place where we are doing the codings with the developers. So in that case, if you are from that non-technical background, probably you are from a functional background or techno-functional background, you're not going to code the things. However, the way I made you understand, if I'll go a little bit deep on 10, like for example 10 days or something, probably you will have the complete understanding of artificial intelligence, right? So I would say it's just that, like, one of my like friend who was struggling to get his project change in artificial intelligence domain, and this is one of the biggest consulting in India I'm talking about. Or I can say even like there's this firm, they are very very like punctual, and I would say they are very 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 firm about the profiles, right? What kind of profile they're looking for. So this guy was able to, like, he took around 1 month of session from me, and then he was not only able to like talk to the client and close the requirement, but was able to convince the client to give the project to their organization. And then he was struggling to get a project, and he got that project as well. like he became the senior manager in that particular project. Of course he's not going to code, but he was very, it was very like, you know, good thing to see that people are progressing in a certain domain after, you know, whatever knowledge you have given to them. So he always you know, refer back my name and to several people, and I've like a lot of his friends also attended my webinar. So this is one of the thing, and there are a lot of things, like a lot of people who got the job into this, and after getting into, like they started slow, like they actually got into internship positions, and then they were able to, after a year or so, they are able to learn so much that they can actually get into a full-fledged job. So a lot of people are there, right? I've trained more than 20,000 people so far, like in abroad or in India, like total, yeah, all in all in total.
Wow, that's a huge one. Yeah, I mean, truly, you stand as an example of what we are trying to do. You are doing it too, empowering the community with your knowledge. And then yes, as I said, an informed community is an empowered community for sure. Thank you so much, Sudhanshu. Anything from you, Srini?
No, we are good, but we'll continue the discussion on the other topic now after the live session is over.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And we hope that you will join again tomorrow at 12 p.m. EST. And as I said, please join us on our Let Us Talk It Youth series, which will be on Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. EST. Trust me, it will be an extremely exciting session this week. So please do join us and have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Julian, for conducting this session. It was lovely talking to all of you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.